Hi everyone! Today we're going to be making this very quick and easy crochet pencil cup using a leftover 14.5 ounce can, and of course you can use scrap yarn for this, or you can follow along with my 4 skein challenge. And for this pencil cup, you are going to need 4 strands of yarn. I am working with the Lion brand yarns Re-Up Recycled Cotton and Polyester Blend yarn, and these are all size 4 medium weight yarn. And I'm going to be using a size J or 5 3/4 millimeter crochet hook. And you're also going to want to grab a 14.5 ounce can. And you're also going to need a stitch marker, scrap piece of yarn, or safety pin for this. So go ahead and grab 2 strands of yarn, and we are going to be working 2 strands simultaneously like they are one for our entire project. So we're going to create a long chain rope with these 2 strands. We're going to begin by attaching the yarn to our crochet hook using a slip knot, and then we're just going to start to place chain stitches. And I usually place about 100 at a time. You can place as many as you would like because we will be adding more chains as we need to complete this project. And once you have a pretty long chain rope, then what you're going to do is pull your crochet hook loop out nice and long, and then just set this to the side. You can always reinsert your crochet hook in your loop and continue to add chains as necessary. So now we're going to go back to the first chain stitch that we made, and we're going to slide our crochet hook in that chain stitch. We're going to leave that stitch on our crochet hook while we tie a magic circle. So go ahead and grab both strands of your next color, and we're going to take the tails, drape them over our working yarn, and pinch that intersection. Then we're going to insert our crochet hook from the bottom up, and I'm just going to hold that intersection while I change hands. From here, it helps to hold on to your chain rope, and you're just going to yarn over and drop all the loops on your crochet hook. Then we're going to separate our magic circle. So we want the top to have our tail for our magic circle, and we want the top to have our chain rope up here. And the bottom should just have the bottom of our magic circle. From here, we're going to place 8 single crochets inside our magic circle while we work over that chain rope as well. So you're working in your magic circle and over your chain rope for this. And once you have your 8 single crochets in place, then you're just going to pull on your tail to tighten the gap in your magic circle. And then for our next row, we're going to be working over our chain rope as well as in our last row of single crochets. And you're going to need your stitch marker for this. And the pattern for our next row is to place 2 single crochets in each stitch in our row while working over our chain rope. So we're just going to treat our chain rope like it is part of our stitch and just crochet right over it. If you've ever crocheted over your tails, the process is the same. So you just line it up with your stitches like this. And once you've placed your first 2 single crochets, go ahead and mark the first of those 2. And then from here, we're just going to continue following our pattern of placing 2 single crochets in each stitch in our row, going all the way around for a total of 16 single crochets. And the pattern for our next row is to place 1 single crochet in our first stitch, and then we're going to place 2 single crochets in our second stitch. And again, don't forget to mark that first stitch. So from here, we're just going to repeat that alternating pattern until we get back to our stitch marker, and we should have a total of 24 single crochets when we're done. And that was our last row of increasing. So the pattern from here is going to be to place 1 single crochet in each stitch in our row for a total of 22 rows. and I have found that if I mark the first stitch of the first row, it makes it a lot easier to count my rows at the end. And once you've placed your 22 rows, I want you to go ahead and slide your can into your sleeve here. So the pattern for our next row is to place 1 single crochet in our first stitch, and then we're going to single crochet together our second and our third stitch. So to do that, insert your crochet hook up underneath your second stitch and yarn over and pull through. Then up underneath your third stitch and yarn over and pull through. So you should have 3 loops on your crochet hook. From here, we're just going to yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And I'm going to go ahead and mark that first stitch. So from here, we're just going to repeat that alternating pattern going around our row for a total of 16 single crochets. And the pattern for your next row is just to single crochet 2 stitches together going all the way around your row for a total of 8 single crochets. And when you get to the end of your row, go ahead and remove your stitch marker and place it to the side. And then we're going to take the loops out of our chain rope up until this last single crochet. So you just want 1 little loop sticking out of your last single crochet, and then we're going to insert our crochet hook in that loop, and then we're going to set our chain rope yarn to the side and insert our crochet hook in our next stitch. Yarning over with our current color, we're going to yarn over and drop all the loops on our crochet hook. And now we're going to cut and tie off our yarn, and we want to cut a normal tail for our chain rope, but we want to leave a longer tail for our other color. So now I'm just going to tie off this current color like this. And then I'm going to weave this longer tail in and out of my last row of single crochets. And once you're done weaving your tail, then I want you to pull on your tail nice and tight like this. And we're going to tie our 2 tails together a few times to secure that hold. Then I usually cut the excess tail off, and I'm just going to draw these 2 tails to the inside of my pencil cup through the opening at the top. So now your sleeve should look something like this, and we're simply just going to tuck this into our can. If you're following along with my 4 skein challenge, then we're going to be making 2 with our rust color on top and then 2 with our sea glass color on top. So 4 pencil cups in total for that skein challenge. Thanks again for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful, awesome day.